The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Perp's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Ooh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.
Hello, Sofa Squad. How is everybody doing tonight? What is everybody up to? I hope everybody's doing well. Drop some number ones in the comment section so I know you can hear me. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Giggle Mama. I hope y'all are doing great. Thank you, everybody. Hello, Emily. Hello, Audra. Hello, Ginger. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate y'all. I hope y'all been well. Hey, Montana. Hey, Nurse Kelly. Hey, Anonymous. Hello, Irish. Hello, Anna. Hello, Math Geek. Hello, Ash. Hey, Jay White. There's Miss Emily. So, y'all, it's been kind of an all over the place day, and it's going to be an all over the place day tomorrow as well. So, what I want to do is, first of all, fix my ear thing. I do it so I can hear. What I want to do is I want to go over the obvious updates that you saw on the thing, right? Literally everything happened in court today. Okay. Mega cases we followed. Shayna, we're talking Barry Morphew. We're talking JP Miller. We're talking Matthew McKee. I almost said Matthew McConaughey. Michael McKee, everything. And then the trial for tomorrow. So we're just going to go over that stuff and then call it a night. Okay. So first of all, we have to address tomorrow. Y'all already know. Opening statements tomorrow, 10 a.m. Paul has a doctor appointment at 10 a.m. So here's the two options. And I guess this is a question for the mods as well. So there's a couple of things. I can either just schedule the live chat for the afternoon session and pick up, wherever that is, or start off in the morning and just basically kind of have the chat going. I'll be on my phone, et cetera, et cetera. And then have it going and whatnot, and we can like reconvene when I get back or whatever. So just kind of think about that. I'll leave it out there. We can revisit that towards the end of the live chat. And let's see what's going on in the ring camera. Please hold. Okay, no, that's not the house falling apart. Okay, cool. So we'll take a poll at the end. And yeah, so tomorrow's the all-pair trial. Brendan, I always want to say Boudreaux. It's not Brandon Boudreaux. Brendan Banfield is tomorrow. So there's that. Yeah, they got a jury seated today. We'll go over it all. So it's happening. Again, we'll believe it when it happens. I can't believe I'm gonna miss the opening statement. Y'all, that part is killing me, okay? It's killing me. I cannot believe that. Absolutely makes me sick. So yeah, we'll see. Anyways, so there's that. So let's start off. In fact, what I want to do is I want to let's start with the little updates and whatnot. Let's start with the one, not little, but let's start with like Barry Morphew, who we're not going to see what happened in the courtroom anyways. So let's go over that first. And I'm getting caught up on all this too. Like, I mean, I quickly saw the headlines when I was pulling this stuff up, but I haven't like gone into it or whatever. Um, so just work with me. Okay, just work with me. Okay. So Barry Morphew, he was in court today. Okay, remember Barry Morphew's late wife, who he allegedly killed. He has not been, convicted, or gone through court. He was arrested once, got out. Basically, it looked like the prosecutor's estate messed up. He was going to walk, right? They came back, they rearrested him, they got their ducks in a row, we hope. Okay. So his former wife, Suzanne, she went missing Mother's Day 2020. So it's 2026, right? Okay, so Barry was in court today. He has pled not guilty. So let's see what they're saying about this. You already know. We're not going to do all that. Barry Morphew pleads not guilty to the murder charge. Now, let me do this. Let me share this with you so you can see him. Clearly, if this is a current picture, daughters are still standing by his side. So do with that what you will. Please hold. I'm going to show this to y'all. Barry Morphew. I said yes. Barry Morphew. Hoo. Okay, I had to get rid of that little thing there. And let's do this. Okay, so there he is. There he is. This is taking a toll on him now. He's only 54. Look at, okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, so he's out on $300,000 cash bond and living in Maysville, Colorado, near Salida, where he awaits trial. His two daughters are often in the courtroom supporting him. Let's continue over here. Let's see what else it says. The Colorado man accused of killing his wife and leaving her body in a remote field in San Luis Valley entered a plea to a murder charge on Monday, and the judge set a trial date for October. Now we know that's not going to happen then. Well, maybe it could. Barry Morphew pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder, and 12th Judicial District Chief Court Judge Amanda Hopkins set a trial date for October 13th. Barry arrived at the arraignment flanked by his two daughters, who have professed his innocence. Mr. Morphew does enter a not guilty plea, said his attorney, David Beller. Let's see what else it says. Morphew was indicted by a grand jury in June. His arrest was in connection with the murder of his wife, Suzanne Morphew. Suzanne, a mother of two, went missing after leaving her home on a bike ride in 2020, but 2023 human remains were found. Let's see, this might just be kind of going over. Under questioning from the judge, Morphew also waived his right to a speedy trial, which is usually 180 days after being arraigned. There's a huge amount of information your attorneys have to go through to represent you, and having a trial within 6 months would not give them the opportunity to represent you effectively, Hopkins said. Morphew has been out on $3 million bail set by the judge when he was extradited from Arizona. He wears an ankle monitor. The trial could last about 6 weeks. So there you go. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty much what we thought, right? Not guilty. He's going to drag this out. He's going to do all the things he can do. So, there's no real surprises there, right? I wonder too. So Kristen West asked, I wonder how the girls will feel after all the evidence. Okay, so I know that if you follow me for all, you're like, oh, here goes Paul. He always brings this case up. But the staircase, Michael Peterson. So if you remember that case where it's divided the family, because remember, Kathleen Peterson had her biological daughter who at first stood by Michael Peterson. And then very soon into it, when she saw the evidence, she was like, hold up. Can't be doing all that. Okay. So then Michael Peterson had his two sons, right? And then he had the two, wait, let me think. Yeah, the two daughters who he adopted from, I mean, not officially, but, let's maybe say his first victim. So what I'm getting at is one thing that has psychologically been interesting to me is number one, the transition of those two daughters' mindsets throughout the case, because they always stood by him. And then you could tell later on, like when they did follow-ups and stuff like that. Like I remember this one interview where one of the daughters was older, and they were somewhere, and they were at like a graveside or something like that. And she said something to this effect right here. She went something like this, or I mean, whatever happened that night. And I could totally tell, okay, totally tell that I was like, oh, she very much questions, right? Because you got to remember when this first popped off, they were all much younger. So wrapping this back around to Barry Morphew, yes, nobody wants to think that their one parent is responsible for murdering the other, right? Because it's almost like, look at what this makes you think. Look at the realities this makes you face. You've lost one parent, they lost their mother. Okay. So this is a known thing, right? Clearly in a horrible way. So then it's like, okay, if we say, yeah, dad did it. Number one, what kind of emotional hostage situation is he holding them in? Hold on. Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry, Law and Crime just did a little update thing, so I'm going to use that video instead when we get to the Michael McKee thing. Um, what kind of potential emotional hostage situation? Imagine that. No daughter of mine's going to sit here and say I'm guilty. You're gonna say that about your father? You think I would do that to your mother? See what I'm saying? And I don't know if he's financially like, I don't know how the man still has money, right? I don't know the ins and outs. I'm sure there's other channels that have gone down that rabbit hole and know every little bit last detail. I don't know if the daughters are standing on their own financially, if they have their own money, if he supports them or what that is. But if you have that in there, right, then I mean, hello, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the power dynamic there. So there's so many layers that go into it. I too find it odd when we see some of these cases where I'm just like, to me, the evidence, and again, it'll play out in court, but it's like, this is really extreme, right? Um, and I just wonder, what is it like at the dinner table? Like, you would almost have to collectively all decide to ignore that topic. You see what I'm saying? And I can't remember the name of this documentary, but whenever we talk about this stuff, I bring it up every time. Some of y'all might be like, "Oh, Paul, you're talking about this." I looked it up on one of our live streams in the like last few months or whatever. But it was a documentary where a family is going to visit their son in prison who he murdered his sister, so their daughter. And it's talking about the psychological component of what a family does in this scenario, right? Um, and how you pick the pieces up and how everyone deals with it. And it was almost like, then I think they even said that, where it was like, we just have to choose to like put that in a compartment over here. And you could tell the mother was still like, I don't know what happened to her. And the dad's like, hello, yeah, your son killed him, but we're just kind of not talking about that to, preserve the friendship type situation. So that being said, um, that component, that psychological component of this, I find very interesting, but it's also very sad. Anyways, um, so I think that's at play here with the daughters and whatnot, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens in court. I don't know if they'll be called to the stand. I would assume on some level they possibly could be. Um, Donna Lena, hey Donna, I hope you're doing well. Donna says Suzanne remarked on the way Barry manipulated his daughters. She said he would turn the girls against her and claim to be a Christian husband. Barb. Yeah, it doesn't. I personally think, again, without not me hearing it like firsthand or obviously knowing them, that's my first inclination, right? Is that there's some kind of like mental, what do you call it, manipulation going on, something. So there's that. Okay, let's go to JP Miller. We had originally talked about going, y'all. This is the thing that's gonna get y'all. Okay, Shayna and I had originally talked about going to JP Miller's thing today. So yeah, they're gonna be. This is so on brand. This is how I'm telling you all this because so you know how my world works. Hey, Ruth says hello, William. That's right. I'm William today, y'all. So we were gonna go to JP Miller's thing. So I called and changed my doctor appointment from today to tomorrow. Then I was like, I really, it's not really a good, it's going to be too expensive to go to JP. There's stuff going on. I just can't, let's not do it. Now you know what happened. Now the opening statements are tomorrow. And I'm like, come on. No, I can't win for losing, right? It is what it is. So, yeah. And now that it happened, I'm like, man, I really wish I could have gone and seen that. But it is what it is. Okay, so JP Miller. Let's see what happened with him. I haven't even looked yet. Um, let's see what he says. Bum. The ants are gonna get me. Somebody should do a video of JP on the ground about the ants. I said the ants are gonna get me. The ants are gonna get me. I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're sharing this. Oh yeah. We're sharing this. Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's share this. Okay. Here we go. I said share the screen. Okay, y'all. Get yourselves ready. We're gonna have an ant situation on the ground. Hold on. Okay, so this is, justice for Micah, right? Now look at this. Here he is walking into court. He's like, howdy, what's going on there? Micah knew everything. She knew too much. He's going to kill me and stage it as an unaliving. Yep. Right there with you. Yeah, they had cops out. They had the dogs. They already knew. Okay, now here's more of the justice for Micah. If I end up with a bullet in my head, it was JP. Good for y'all. Good for y'all. Okay, so here's JP and Micah. Here's JP and Micah. Wow, look at how old the picture is. Okay, this is Miller outside the courtroom on August 18th, 2025. That's not even now. Oh, okay, I see. He's like, yep, I got away with it. Oh, and here's his interview. Wait, somebody was telling me. Well, let's get through this first. Okay, here's him doing the thing. Oh, bless her heart. She didn't even know. Okay, here's Micah and JP. More pictures of them. Stop sharing. And then there you go. Okay, so John Paul Miller, Myrtle Beach pastor, pleaded not guilty to the federal charges against him in court on Monday. His bond has been set at $100,000, and he's now required to stay away from the victims, family, and any witnesses involved in the investigation. He will have to wear an ankle monitor. He cannot possess a firearm, and he cannot excessively drink alcohol, and must surrender his passport as a condition of his bond. More than 70 people filled the federal courthouse on West Evans Street in Florence, and some had to wait outside. Prosecutors said they felt like JP was a flight risk and a danger to the community. However, JP's attorneys adamantly disagreed. He's in court following a December indictment by the U.S. Justice Department. Hold on. He walked into the courthouse alone through a side gate. There's extra security outside the courthouse and Homeland Security officers circling the grounds with their canine partners. However, it's not clear if the additional security is connected to JP's appearance. Those who showed up at the courthouse said they protest every week outside JP's former church in Myrtle Beach, following the death of his wife, Micah Miller. Good for them, as they should. Federal prosecutors charged JP with one count of cyberstalking and one count of making false statements to investigators. According to the indictment, JP allegedly sent unwanted and harassing communications to his late wife, Micah, beginning in November 2022 and continuing until her death in 2024. So this is what he was pushing her to a mental breaking point. This man is all sorts of awful, right? And so here's my, let me just pause here and reading over the thing. Whether he staged it, whether he was there, whether he hired somebody, or whether she authentically just randomly went into the park and unalived herself, to me, his hands, his fingerprints, her blood is on his hands, right? Because you see how just from the video alone, if you followed me, for a minute, we've watched these and whatnot. Um, This man is BS crazy, right? This is a level of narcissist. This is like a whole new level. This is a whole new level, right? And so he drove her mad, and I think he blackmailed her. I think he absolutely tormented her. When he was done with her and felt like whatever, oh, he was going to make sure she paid, right? 100%. 100%. Okay, let me finish reading this real quick. Okay, wait. Okay. The indictment alleges the behavior included repeated unwanted contact. Federal authorities also allege JP lied to investigators during the investigation. Prosecutors said JP admitted to hiring a private investigator to protect Micah from purchasing firearms, but instead alleged he hired the investigator to cyberstalk her for alleged adultery. The indictment also alleges that he falsely denied damaging Micah's vehicle tires. 100% he did that. 100% he did that. JP's indictment comes nearly 2 years after the death of Micah. Micah died on April 27, 2024 at Lumber River State Park in Robeson County, North Carolina. And this is where it was ruled her death was ruled an unaliving caused by self-inflicted gunshot wound. Okay, Monday's hearing was the first in the judicial process. I mean, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see where this goes. Okay, so let's get rid of this. We did that. We did Barry Morphew. Okay, now let me find a new video for Michael McKee. And before we do that, let's see. Law and crime. They literally just did this. Please hold. Your call is currently important to us. Please hold. Okay. On the case. I don't know this dude's name, but okay, we're going to get to this in a second. Okay, so before we do this, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. I'm just joking. I want to share all this real quick before I forget. Okay, y'all know Kathy from Gossip, Rumor, Innuendo, right? Our friend Kathy, we love her. Look at what she sent me today. Made my day. You know how she does all her crocheting and knitting stuff? Y'all look. Look at these socks. Look at this. Aren't those cute? She sent a sweet little card in there and this right here. Y'all, made my Monday. Isn't that just so snuggly wuggly? So snuggly wuggly. Oh my goodness. Put a smile on my face. That's so sweet of her. I almost don't want to wear them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm almost like I almost don't want to wear them because I feel like I don't want to mess them up or anything. But I'm going to because they're just too. And I love the colors. Oh, they're so cool. So sweet of her. So shout out to Kathy. I just such a such a sweet human being, so kind. Um, I'm gonna mute you for a second while I take a sip of my drink. Please hold. I know I put them on with slippers and climb under your blanket. I know, right? I'm gonna put them on after this. I don't know how you would if you when you watch them. I don't know what I have to do. I can't wait. Anyways, okay. What we're gonna do now is we're going to play. We're gonna watch a video together. Not gonna play. We're gonna watch a video together on the case. I can't remember this guy's name. He reminds me of Scott Herman every time I see him, though. And it's not Scott Herman. I don't know why. I'm like, this could be Scott Herman's brother. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to watch this together. And this is Michael McKee's court appearance. This is his extradition hearing. Now, this is the case that's been popping off. And this is the Spencer and Mo Tepe murder. that took place, and he has allegedly killed them. He has not gone to court yet. The evidence looks not good, so there you go. Let's just go with that. Please hold.
Jail jumpsuit, now accused of a horrific crime. A divorced ex-husband who allegedly planned, plotted, and killed his ex-wife and her husband with children in the home. Michael McKee allegedly drove more than 6 hours to the home of Spencer and Monique Tepe and shot them dead in the middle of the night on December 30th.
Your name, sir, for the record? Michael McKee.
Not only do we have the new courtroom video of McKee appearing today, we also have documents that shed light on his failed marriage and what police say locked them in on him as their suspect. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
So yeah, thank you, Knitting.
Hey guys, real quick, there is a reason On the Case is one of the most watched shows on YouTube.
You know, real quick, I just gotta look this up. Scott Herman. All of his stuff is workout stuff. No, okay, yeah. Sorry. I was like, this guy looks just like Scott Herman, but anyways, that's just my own thing. Here we go. Look at that look on his face.
Sir.
Your name, sir, for the record? Michael McKee.
Here is McKee making his first court appearance today in Rockford, Illinois. It's about an hour and a half west of Chicago. There, he entered the room in a jail jumpsuit. His hands were shackled, and he only said his name calmly when the judge asked. Now, we'll talk more about what will happen next in his criminal proceedings in just a moment. But this is what we know about Michael McKee, a little bit of it. To this point, McKee is a vascular surgeon in Rockford, Illinois. Court documents show that he has an address for an expensive condo building in the Lincoln Park area of Chicago. McKee, though, is a native of Ohio. He went to Ohio State. That's where he graduated in 2014. And it's believed at OSU is where he met Monique. And this is a picture of them on their wedding day in 2015. Now, the couple were married for only roughly 2 years. They divorced in 2017. They didn't have children. Now, we have acquired the documents related to McKee's divorce, and here's what we know about that. We know that after graduating from Ohio State, McKee did a residency to continue his surgical training in Roanoke, Virginia, and Monique lived with him there for a period of time. McKee has active medical licenses in Illinois and California. We also have the documents for the end of the marriage that show at the time they divorced, Monique was actually living in Ohio. The decree states that Michael was given the home in Virginia and Monique was awarded the divorce on the basis of incompatibility. Now, as this investigation started, there were many people who found out that Monique had been married before. You could find it in public records. And that started to point the finger at McKee, the ex-husband. But as this case moved on, it had been reported that the divorce between McKee and Monique was amicable. Court records also seem to show that. And it also shows that McKee was living in another state. But then something obviously changed in this investigation, and detectives ended up circling in on Michael McKee. Now, before we get to what happened in court today in Rockford, I do want to get to what police say really cracked this case. And this.
Okay, just pausing real quick. Okay, it is weird how when you look at it, it's like, well, she had an ex-husband, but that's from years ago, right? Here's the thing. Again, I feel like what happened in their marriage, and I'm talking about Mo to Michael McKee, not Mo and Spencer, the current, or the currently one that got killed with her. I mean, I just keep envisioning where it's almost like, did they get married and she moved in? We kind of talked about this last night or the night before, and he just like was instantly different, or like maybe controlling, or like something, right? I just feel like something happened that she immediately saw, oh, this isn't gonna work, right? Because I mean, they were split so soon, but it's also weird. So if he was this controlling dude, Why did it go so smoothly? Wait. Betty says, reportedly McKee married 15 days after the divorce and divorced again in 2022. Oh my gosh. Really? That's wild if that's the case. Now, another thing too, and wait, what was it I was going to say? Oh my gosh, it's going to slip my mind. Okay, so we did if he was controlling, if it was the husband, I don't know, it would come to me. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it. Let's just keep watching for a second. Oh, I remember. Okay, so you know how they were talking about the whole thing, like who paid for the ring and who did this and who did that? It really seems like one thing took place is when they were going out, it was in the beginning of his like career and like schooling and all that. Because when you look at the income levels, they weren't making tons of like the kind of money he has now. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder, it just makes me really wonder, like, did that play something into it? And like if he was a horrid person then, was it magnified when he became wealthy? And then almost like, was he sitting here seething? Because look at her, she's absolutely stunning. And the husband, the current one that was killed, Spencer, he looks very much like a very attractive, handsome man. But one thing that I see in their wedding pictures, and I get it's their wedding day, they both seem to have this like bright light energy in their soul that is just like very much coming out, right? When you look at Michael McKee, and I get the images we're seeing are of him being arrested, like, you know what I'm saying? So I understand there's that, but he doesn't have that same, like, I don't know, like energy level that they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not there, especially in his mugshot. But again, I'm not expecting it to be there. You know what I mean? Um, but it's just like it's like an energy, and I know it's like his feelings aren't facts. I get all that too, but it's like there's just this feeling of an energy that's not present with him that is with her and Spencer. You see what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Anyways, let's keep going. Yeah, aura, joy, like all that. He just doesn't he doesn't seem to encompass that.
This is at least the little bit that they're giving us right now, because they haven't officially said that McKee was the person of interest walking near the Teppes home in that video that they put out last week around the time that the Teppes were killed. But when you think about surveillance video, there is no doubt that that video played a role in their ability to track down Michael McKee as their suspect. So let's walk through what happened where police are now filling in the holes. You have Monique and Spencer Teppe. Now, that couple married in 2020. This is according to their obituary.
You already know I'm talking without the thing on. Okay, so I was saying here, look at their picture here, and I get that it's like their wedding day and of course all that, but look at like that inner light that seems to come out. And yes, Stacia says her smile is contagious. Yeah, it's like that kind of energy. Like when you run into people who their energy and all that is just contagious. I mean, it really comes through with them. Okay, let's keep going.
And this is actually, of course, their wedding video of the celebration that they had in 2021 that was shot by Spencer's brother-in-law, who gave us permission to show you this video. We know that Spencer and Monique, and this was years after Monique had divorced Michael McKee, Spencer and Monique met online, and they built what appears to be an incredible life together. Spencer was a dentist who was beloved at his office. It seems he really loved his job. Monique was someone who cared a lot about young people. She had her degree in early childhood education from Ohio State, but then she became a stay-at-home mom to raise Spencer and Monique's 4- and 1-year-old children. Now, we kept hearing over and over again that Spencer and Monique were just people who loved to bring people together. They loved having people over to their home in Columbus. They were the life of the party. Monique is being remembered as someone who was a great friend. She loved to bake. Spencer, he loved his Ohio State Buckeyes, and he also loved the Cincinnati Bengals. He grew up in the Cincinnati area. Now, Spencer graduated from Ohio State as well. He graduated in 2017 with his degree in dental surgery. Spencer worked at a dental office that was roughly 75 miles away from his house in Athens, Ohio, which is a heck of a commute. And on December 30th, Spencer didn't show up for work, and his office was very concerned, so they called 911.
Columbus Police, Tech 107.
Yes, I would like to ask for a wellness check on an individual at their home.
Now, if you've been following this story with us, you know these 911 calls that were made on the day that Spencer and Monique were found dead. The call.
And also, y'all, do you think this could play a thing into it? So again, I don't know the income discrepancies from like what the dude Michael McKee was making versus like the dentist, but I mean, I feel like dentists make a lot of money as well. Okay, so you notice how it's like, oh, she's a stay-at-home mom, they have the kids. I just really get this vibe that this other dude was just seething. And it was almost like, wait a minute, she married a husband that's making that kind of money. She's staying at home. She has kids. That's the life I was supposed to have with her. That's supposed to be my world. That's supposed to be my life. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the energy I'm getting. Like, why else would you go back and kill him? You know what I mean? Like, what would be the reasoning? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? It doesn't even make sense. I'm trying to get to the court thing. Yeah, I'm gonna skip up here to the court part.
McKee was arrested in Rockford, Illinois, which is about an hour and a half west of Chicago. And on the arresting documents, McKee lists an address for a very nice luxury condo building in the ritzy Lincoln Park neighborhood of Chicago. Looks like a really nice place. And WLS TV in Chicago spoke with one of McKee's neighbors, and she said that he did not come off as someone who would commit a crime like this. This woman said, quote, "He did not seem like somebody that would do something like this. You never know. You meet people everywhere and you don't know if they're a serial killer." She also went on to say, "I sat down with this man. I talked with him at the pool, barbecuing, about what a beautiful day it is. And then he turns out to be a killer. It's kind of shocking. How do you explain to a child that mom and dad are here one day and gone the next? Those are the real victims of this whole case, are the children." End quote. Now, we are still working to learn more information about McKee. And if he did this, why did he do it?
Yeah, honey, the light has left the building years ago. Okay. That candle done got blown out 5 years ago. That is the look of, I've seen everything there is to see in life, and I am not impressed. Okay. Now, I get it's his arrest picture. He's not supposed to be like, but I mean, come on, right? This is not a happy human being. It was pure, for the days from when he killed them, allegedly killed them, to this day, right? I mean, come on. I mean, that's just like, no life there. Yeah, maybe prison will impress him, Kim says. I mean, for real. Hey, Susie, how's it going?
Now, why did he do it a couple of days after Christmas and on the day before New Year's Eve? Today, McKee did make his first court appearance. This was our first chance to see him since his arrest. This appearance was in Rockford, Illinois, and it was very quick. It lasted less than 3 minutes. Now, McKee didn't seem emotional when he walked into the courtroom. He calmly said his name to the judge. He then waived his extradition, meaning he is slated to return to Ohio to face the charges for allegedly killing the Teppes. Here's what happened in court.
Your name, sir, for the record. Michael McKee. Have you had a chance to speak with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your position at this time?
Yes, at this time, Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. McKee, I will assert his right to counsel. I will assert his right to remain silent. And Mr. McKee believes that the most expeditious manner in which he may defend himself against the charges pending in Ohio and to plead not guilty would be to waive his right to an extradition hearing and to have a governor's warrant and to agree to his immediate transportation to Ohio.
Understood, thank you. We will set this matter then for 2 o'clock on Monday. For status on the transfer.
Thank you.
Anything else we can do today?
Not from this one.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a member for so long, sweet 77.
Thanks, everyone.
And with that, a shake of the hand with his attorney, and McKee exited the courtroom, and now he is awaiting for authorities in Ohio to come pick him up and bring him to Columbus. The judge set a status hearing for Monday next week, and that's only if McKee is still in Illinois and not in Ohio. Now, before we talk more about this case, I do want to share with you the statement from the Tepe family, one that they released on the day of McKee's arrest. This is what it says, quote, "Today's arrest represents an important step toward justice for Monique and Spencer. Nothing can undo the devastating loss of 2 lives taken far too soon. But we are grateful to the City of Columbus Police Department, its investigators, and assisting law enforcement community whose tireless efforts helped to capture the person involved. We thank the community for the continued support, prayers, and compassion shown throughout this tragedy. As the case proceeds, we trust the justice system to hold the person responsible fully accountable. Monique and Spencer remain at the center of our hearts, and we carry forward their love as we surround and protect the 2 children they leave behind. We will continue to honor their lives and the light they brought into this world." End quote. Join us now to talk a little bit more about this investigation and the big developments that happened over the weekend. Retired Detective Commander with the Chicago Police Department, Will Skeet.
Okay. Hold on. Let me change this right here. Yeah, it is interesting. And yeah, it's like I get like talking looks and all that. But it is interesting just how, like, when you look at, he does look like a Minecraft character. It's weird, right? How much he does. It's just, yeah, he has that thing. But yeah, I mean, he's just like, I mean, it really feels like he's probably had like some kind of battle. Like he's thought about this like every day. Like it's eating him up. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with it. Obviously years away, probably, right? I mean, this just happened. So it'll be a while before we see much take place in anything, right? They haven't even like sent him over to the right place yet. Hey, Police Amy, what's up? With respect, mostly. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Now, what I want to do, so I wanted to just look at his time in the court there. What I want to do now is move over to the trial at hand, the one we will be watching, but I don't know if we'll be watching it together tomorrow morning. We'll see. We'll talk about it here in a second. That is the au pair. That is the Brendan Banfield trial. A jury has been seated. Now, pardon me, what I'm going to do is make the screen bigger, and I'm going to come over here, and we're going to go boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say wayo, wayo. I said shooby dooby, shooby doo doo. Okay, so jury selection is complete. The former IRS agent faces up to life in prison. It is underway. 16 Fairfax County residents have been seated to sit as jurors in this complicated murder case. 12 jurors and 4 alternates. Judge Penny Ascaret showed little mercy on Monday when it came to hardships for those in the pool of 80 prospective jurors who would have trouble dedicating 4 weeks to a trial. You have sympathy for jurors who have been selected 4 weeks. No question, that's a really long commitment. You have to do your civic duty, but definitely it's going to be a challenge. Going to be a lot of really difficult information they're going to have to process over the next month and avoid news media because a lot of people know about this case. Absolutely, it's on the news, said dismissed juror Brian Griebel. The prospective jurors were asked whether they'd heard about the case. Some said they were just reading about it this morning. They were asked their opinions about the police, infidelity, whether they'd be okay if some of the evidence concerned bondage, domination, and sadomasochism. Banfield was in the courtroom wearing a sports jacket and tie, no handcuffs. He's been held since his arrest more than a year ago. He faces up to life in prison. Okay, now we're going to watch this. I said, please hold. Please hold. I said, okay. I just love to sing. I wish I could do it though. Okay, boom.
Plotting with his family's au pair to kill his wife and a stranger will get underway. Jury selection for the murder trial of Brendan Banfield is scheduled to begin any minute now. Investigators claim Banfield was involved in an affair with the au pair. Juliana Magalhaes. Before the two then came up with a plan to get Banfield's wife, Christine, out of the picture. Authorities believe Banfield set up an account on a fetish website, using his wife's photos to lure a man to their home in order to make Christine's killing look like it was done by an intruder.
I love that tweets.
When Joseph Ryan, a man Banfield allegedly met through that site, arrived at the home, Banfield fatally shot Ryan and stabbed his wife to death. That, according to prosecutors.
Magalhaes, and she worked.
I never saw her before.
So the au pair was Juliana Perez Magalhaes, and she worked as a live-in nanny for a couple named Christine and Brendan Banfield to help raise their young daughter, who was about 4 years old at the time.
Mamie.
She told police that she and Brendan Banfield, the husband, found an intruder in the primary bedroom of the home. And that intruder, who's since been identified as Joe Ryan, was stabbing Christine Banfield with a knife.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, the nanny is completely unbelievable. I mean,
They don't have any water. If you give me a couple minutes, I'm sure I can find someone that has some, okay?
Police arrived quickly thereafter, and they found the au pair, a wreck. She was hyperventilating. She was shaking. She was doing breathing exercises with detectives.
Okay. Let's take a nice deep breath, okay? Go. And out.
It's been nearly 2 years since these killings occurred, but in court, prosecutors are putting forward their theory. They're essentially saying that the au pair and Brendan Banfield lured Ryan to the house under the guise of a sexual encounter with Christine Banfield. And this is a belief that they say Juliana Perez Magalhaes, corroborated in a second interview she did with officials in late October.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. There you go. There you go. Okay, you're okay. You're safe here.
Now, in early September, Brendan Banfield was charged with aggravated murder of the deaths of both Ryan and his wife, Christine.
Now, y'all listen to this real quick. So I'm trying to figure out what her sentence was. And I have another article going on over the screen, but at the very end of it, it says this. Y'all might already know this. It says, hold on. Please hold. It just went away. There it goes. Okay. It says, in 2022, Ascrat oversaw actor Johnny Depp's libel case against his ex-wife Amber Heard, in which he was awarded more than $10 million and vindicated his allegations that Heard lied about Depp abusing her before and during their marriage. So that's this judge, I guess. I'm just like, are you serious? So I didn't even know that. Y'all might have already known that or whatever, but that's pretty interesting. Now, let me look at this real quick because I'm trying to see what her sentence was. And get rid of his wife. What led to homicides? Did she bought a gun? As part of the plea agreement, so they will recommend a sentence of time served. Okay. The au pair was arrested. As part of her plea agreement, Fairfax County prosecutors have said they will recommend a sentence of time served. The Brazilian native sentencing has been delayed until after Banfield's trial, and Juliana is expected to be deported after that hearing. Okay. So they're basically saying this. They're like, okay, time served. You say what we want you, you not what you want to say, but you come in here, tell the truth. And you going home, girl. She got a very sweet deal. She helped murder 2 people. That's insane, right? Now, granted, which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? I mean, the husband clearly orchestrated a lot of stuff here, so they wanted to come after him. He's an FBI agent. He's this. I mean, I could see where he was like going to be the face of this, right? And of course, she was like, I don't know. He was my boss. And I'm like, girl, your clothes were in her closet like what was the blood dry in the house before you moved into the bedroom? I mean, come on. Oh, Casey says, I still think she was a mastermind. Okay, you know what? And I could totally see that, Casey, like in the way of like, in like a manipulative type way or something. I think they're both equally, how do you say it, culpable or whatever. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, I didn't know she got that light of a sentence. That's crazy.
And could potentially face a maximum sentence of life. And his trial is scheduled for February.
So there you have it. Yet again, a plot made for a movie, the stage now set. That was Magali speaking to police minutes following the incident. She would later accept a plea deal and admitted to manslaughter. She is now the star witness in the case. That leads us to police officially charging Brendan with murder. Here's that press conference.
Ryan shook our entire community. Today, I'm pleased to announce that due to the hard work of police and prosecutors, the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office has secured an indictment against Brendan Banfield for the murder of his wife, Christine, and the murder of Mr. Ryan. Fairfax County police officers took Brendan Banfield into custody, and he's been brought to the same adult detention center where Juliana Perez Margulies has been since last year when she was arrested for the murder of Mr. Ryan. The great investigative work of the Fairfax County Police Department led us to new information, which was instrumental in securing today's indictment that charges Brendan Banfield with aggravated murder and the use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. I'm extremely grateful to FCPD for their continuing efforts in this case, as well as the efforts of Deputy Commonwealth's Attorneys Kelsey Gill and Eric Klingon, who've worked tirelessly with their counterparts in the Fairfax County Police Department. I know that you will have many questions, but I want to caution you that I can't speak much further on specifics as it is a pending matter, and no one at this podium today wants to do anything that will risk prejudicing a future jury. But suffice to say, we're extremely pleased that we've been able to bring this indictment, as this case has weighed heavily not only on the minds of the chief and I, but on the minds of our community. I hope that the family, friends, and loved ones of Christine and Joseph can find some solace in the knowledge that we're pursuing justice for them. Chief Aves.
Thank you, Mr. Toscano, and good evening. On February 24th, 2023, I stood in the middle of a cul-de-sac street in Fairfax County and described the deaths of two persons inside of a residential home. Now, 570 days later, we know the deaths of Joseph Ryan and Christine Banfield are both, in fact, murders. As you are aware, we charged Juliana Margulies with the murder of Joseph Ryan on October 13th, 2023. She remains in custody and awaits an upcoming trial. As described by Mr. Toscano, we are today announcing aggravated murder charges against Brendan Banfield for the murder of his wife, Christine Banfield, and Joseph Ryan. To be clear, Brendan Banfield, then 38, and Christine Banfield, then 37, were married and living in a single-family home with their then 4-year-old daughter. Also living in the house was the family au pair, Juliana Margulies, then 22 years old. Joseph Ryan, then 39 years old.
She was only 22? For whatever, I thought she was much older than that. 22? And pulling off something like this? That's insane. That's insane. I thought she was in her 30s. Wow. I mean, and not that it makes it a difference, like, oh, okay, whatever. But I'm like, I just thought that she was much older than that. That is crazy. Honey, let me tell you what. Wait, hold on. Let me come back over here real quick. Okay, here we go.
Lived in Springfield, Virginia at the time of his murder inside the Banfield home. Fairfax County police officers responded to a 911 call from within the home on February 24th, 2023. In an upstairs bedroom, we found Joseph Ryan deceased as a result of gunshot wounds and found Christine Banfield suffering from stab wounds. Christine was transported to a local hospital and pronounced dead. We recovered 2 firearms, and a knife. We know Brandon Banfield and Juliana Margalis, the family au pair, were involved in a romantic relationship at the time of the murders. I will not describe our victim Joseph Ryan's relationship with anyone involved in the case at the moment because this investigation continues. And like any criminal investigation, our probing of the facts does not end when an arrest is made. This much is clear. We have evidence to now allege that Christine Banfield's life was unlawfully taken and Joseph Ryan's life was unlawfully taken. We are very limited, as Mr. Toscano stated, in providing additional details to your many inevitable questions this evening. We will not try this case in a news conference, nor will we compromise the integrity of our ongoing probe and investigation. The detectives, prosecutors, and victim services specialists who still work tirelessly on this case know who they are. To the Benson and Ryan families, a special thank you for your patience and trust. And now we will do our best to take some of your questions.
Jury, it's a day or two to go through the process.
One of the big questions happens to surround how long you expect this to actually last.
We don't know. We know the jury selection was 1 day, which I'll tell you is typical. Usually when I pick a jury, it's a day or two to go through the process. This case had some publicity, but it's not one of those cases where a lot of people.
So she's 22 years old. And that pit, 22. Okay.
People are going to be excluding themselves from the jury. They're going to be interested to hear what happened here, and that's why they were able to get a jury so quickly. But they're going to have to.
Yeah, he is. I forgot about that part. He's having all these affairs, doing this. He is an app. Not that she's not either. He's an absolute psychopath. Absolute. God knows the things he put Christine through leading up to this.
Go through a lot of evidence. I think this case may last a week or two because there's a lot of witnesses that are going to have to come forward because you have two completely different stories. You have the au pair saying this was a setup. She took a plea deal and said she was a part of that setup because they were in a new relationship and wanted to get rid of the wife. The husband is saying, I had nothing to do with this. The au pair is lying. Everybody else is lying, and I can prove it. So it's going to be a battle that's going to take some time.
As an attorney, though, and let's say you're representing the defendant in this case, dear God, what evidence do you have to bring forward in order to make sure that your client walks away scot-free?
It's tough because whenever you have a cooperating witness who essentially what the au pair is, she said she was a part of this crime and she admitted that she was a part of it and said that he was too. That makes it difficult because you have someone who was a part of the crime saying this crime. His defense is she's lying. She was pressured by the prosecutors and they wanted to bring a quick end to this. It was so much hoopla around it. They wanted to show that they can close out this investigation. So they kind of moved the evidence to fit what they wanted the outcome to be. That's what he's saying. And he's saying there's evidence out there. For example, the other male, the male that was killed, he was lured there from a site where people connect for sexual pleasure, right? And he's saying there's proof that his wife was actually the one who was contacting him on the computer. He said there's no evidence that either he or the au pair, that the husband or the au pair used the computer to lure the guy there. If that's the case, then maybe he's right? If they didn't.
I mean, I cannot with this. So this is going to be a very interesting evidence type thing because this is where some things get tricky. Okay, so you know how when we watch these cases and it's like, oh my gosh, all the technology evidence, blah, 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 blah. Notice the theme that we keep seeing. And I mean, I get it, where it's almost like this type thing, like, you can't prove that I was the one on the computer inviting the stranger to come in and are the wife. Like, that was her. You don't know who was using that computer. You don't know who was doing this. Even though it's like common sense would say, really, that's what took place. Because now I'm just like, okay, so you're going to run her name to the mud after you killed her, which doesn't surprise me that he's going to do, right? But it's the fact that it's like, so you're going to get up here and now spin this whole thing that it's everyone's out to get you. It was her doing this, the au pair coming up with this, the prosecutor did this. Who's the common denominator? You know what I'm saying? Who's the common denominator in this? They're gonna, this is gonna get, I'm telling you, this is gonna get juicy, not that it isn't already. But like in my mind, I'm thinking they're also gonna surely bring up evidence of his past infidelities. And then again, when she gets on that stand, let me tell you what, let me tell you what, I wish that we could know when it is, right? I don't want to miss that at all. Yeah, Miss Chris says, why would the wife ask the guy to come over to a house full of people? And he's probably gonna be like, that was part of her turn on. That was part of her. Again, it was almost like, okay, again, but let's go ahead and bring it up again. Michael Peterson, the staircase. Remember how he was talking about Kathleen knew that I was having affairs with men. She did. We had an understanding. She was totally cool with that. And it's like, okay, so technically, no one can prove that. You have a point there, Mr. Peterson. However, contextually, granted, nobody knows what anyone's like behind closed doors, but she just doesn't seem like she'd be okay with you hooking up with men left and right and hiring hookers to come to the house, right? This is a little bit of a stretch here. But again, this is how these dudes think. Brian Walsh too. All that evidence on there. I mean, his kids' iPads, all that. They're going to have to revert to a lot of this stuff. You can't prove that was me doing that. You don't know who was typing those words in there. Sure, Jan. Okay, let's keep going a little bit.
Lure the guy there, then how did they know the guy would be there so they can plan this elaborate scheme to set up this murder scene? So there's things in play that will cause or could cause some doubt if those facts play out and that testimony comes out.
This definitely has a script made for a movie.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you there will be a movie made about
Absolutely.
this. Will that impede in any way, form, or fashion with regard to how this trial carries out? And what I'm bringing up, I'm thinking about the jury, and perhaps, I would assume at some point they're going to get a chance to go home, but everybody is watching this. And you go to the grocery store, folks are going to be talking about
They're going to be talking about it because it's some salacious details. The all pair and a husband went on vacation to New York 6 months prior. They had, pictures of them showing that they were intimate with each other and things like that. It's some made-for-TV moments that's going to be here. The jury's job is going to be to block out kind of the flashing lights and say, at the end of the day, this seems salacious. It seems like, the au pair and the husband wanted to be together, so they set this up. But is there enough evidence to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt? Our jury system works because the jury looks past all of that glitz and glamour and looks at the facts and the law and says, was this case proven beyond a reasonable doubt? If not, they can't convict him. They can't. But if it is, if the prosecution proved this case beyond a reasonable doubt, that this was a setup by the husband and the au pair to get rid of the wife, then the jury must decide that he's guilty. And that's what it should come down to.
By the way, this case for me pulls at the heartstrings, if you will, because I'm thinking about the child that happens to be involved in this as well.
Not only that, but there was a daughter in the house when this happened, in the basement. Imagine being in the home when your mother is killed and people saying that your father is the one who did it. That has to be very traumatic. And also, if this is the case, if what the prosecution is saying is true, you have someone who was just an innocent bystander. He had nothing to do with this. He was lured into this situation so it can be set up to look like he killed the wife and he was killed himself. And he had nothing to do with this. So there's a lot of victims here, not just the people who lost their lives, but the families around it, because they're impacted. There can be children who mother was killed and father committed the murder. Imagine growing up with that your whole life. So there's a lot at stake here.
Guy and folks here at the Fairfax County Courthouse, where jury selection is beginning this hour, the 10 o'clock hour. The goal is to see 12 jurors by the end of the day because they're planning on opening arguments tomorrow in this case. There will be a camera in the courtroom for this trial, very unusual, but that won't start until tomorrow. So this whole jury selection process will just be observed by people like myself, reporting back on whether, and I'm sure they will, be able to get 12 jurors who know nothing about this case, or if they do, have not already formed an opinion. That should be easy. One quick anecdote. Back in the day, there was this terrible murder at the Lululemon store in Bethesda, on Bethesda Road, made like world headlines. It was, all over the news. And after the trial, I had a chance to speak to one of the jurors who was from the Gaithersburg area. And I asked him, had you not heard about this case? And he said, no. And that he was kind of, in tune with current events and what was going on, and had not even heard about the Lululemon trial or the Lululemon murder, and was able to serve as a juror on at that trial for that case. So I would imagine there'll probably be plenty of people here in Fairfax County who not have heard about this sensational murder case. And so I'm expecting they will probably seat a jury by the end of the day, and the trial will kick off tomorrow with opening arguments. And we'll be here every step of the way, guys. My colleague Melanie Olmwick in the morning. I'll be here during the day, and we'll be...
What's next on Deadly Desire?
Okay. Boom. 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 So, yeah. So, I mean, there are, I need to look that up now, the Lululemon case. I feel like I've heard that name, but not the actual, trial or whatever, or the case and whatnot. So, here's the thing. Okay. They bring up some good points, the two gentlemen who were just talking. This is one thing that's going to also be very telling. So if you want to talk about him trying to get up here talking about, oh, she was doing this, she was doing that. Okay. We're probably going to see the evidence, I would imagine, the whatever you call it, the digital evidence of the messages between the victim and the other victim, right? So between the wife and this dude, Joseph Ryan. I'm imagining, so this is my prediction. It's going to be some pretty salacious talk that might not match the image put forth of her by the prosecution, right? Because technically, if you think about it, at the end of the day, either Juliana or Brendan or both were writing those emails to Joseph Ryan pretending to be the wife, especially if it's coming from Brendan, who a male is writing it pretending to be a female. I feel like that could come through. You see what I'm saying? Like a dude pretending to be a woman writing it, like you're going to see the difference in like that kind of verbiage, whatever it is, because whatever it is, I think it's going to be like tawdry, right? Because at the end of the day, they're trying to get him over to the house to do a hard R scene. So, yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that they're going to be able to tell if he's like, no, Christine wrote that. And they're just like, huh? Like, no, a dude wrote this, but you can't tell, right? I mean, you can't, there's not 100%, but I don't know. We'll see. So that being said, let's go over this again so that for people who are here. Okay, so I have a doctor's appointment at 10 in the morning. So basically the options are this. I have to leave early in the morning for it. So I would have to start the live chat like before 9 o'clock. And then just leave it going or whatever and be at it from my phone, go to the doctor, come back. Or just pick up basically when I get home, start the live chat, have it ready to go, and we'll do the afternoon session. I think that's probably going to be the safest thing to do, is to do the afternoon session. Just in case, because I don't know how it's going to I just don't know how it's going to go. So that's probably what we'll just plan on doing, is I'll start live streaming the afternoon session when I get back. I'll have the thing up, ready to go. I'll put it on there, and we'll start them, and then glued to it, right? I think my understanding, will confirm tomorrow, is that it goes Monday through Friday, and I'm sorry, Monday through Thursday. I think they're taking Fridays off. So, and I don't know what time I'll be back. So in my world, I'm thinking by noon, right? And so come in, walk the dogs, do that, get going, and pretend that it starts at 10 and they go to lunch at 1. So I could be coming into an afternoon break, and let's pretend this was how it would work out nicely. Pretend that I come in and they're like, we're just going to lunch. I can do a rewatch of the opening statements, at least some of it, unless it's like, 2 hours. I mean, they might not get through it. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm not going to schedule the live chat because I don't want to have it waiting, but just know that I will be coming in for the doctor and then going live. And the appointment's at 10. It should take maybe an hour, if that. And it's 20 minutes away. See what I'm saying? So that's where we're at with it. And then we'll get to watching, and we'll just sit with bated breath to wait for Juliana to get up there and do what she's gonna do. So that is it for tonight, y'all. I do appreciate everybody coming and hanging out and going over this. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll be watching a trial tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'll believe it when it happens. But thank you, mods, for being here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, squad, for getting through another evening of true crime updates. Y'all have a wonderful evening. I will see y'all sometime in the early afternoon tomorrow. I hope that everybody sleeps well. I hope everybody is warm and cuddly. I love you all very much. And we will have Slow Morrison close out our our live chat with his song. So that's it. I love y'all. I will see y'all in the morning. Hasta la vista.
The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough. Join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Bert's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, 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 come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please, the puppies need me. Oh, oh, please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, 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 come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh please, the puppies need me. Oh please, my body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, 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 come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.